tonight was a Raw that really fucking sucked. I mean, Jesus Christ, God Almighty. 3 hours of just fucking horrible, boring, dragged out, nonsensical bullshit. It's almost like this Raw had no business existing. It really didn't. I mean, they could have just went right to the TLC pay-per-view, because all they were doing tonight is they pretty much killed all the fucking build-up to this shit. I mean, they just should have just skipped this Raw altogether, because they just made TLC look even more unappealing. So, let's just get down to the meat of things right here. So, Ziggler starts off the show with a pretty decent promo. I actually thought that things were going to turn around, because this was a serious promo from Ziggler. It was a pretty, you know, like, well put together promo. His mic skills are improving, so credit where credit's due. Something good on the show, a decent promo. But then Sheamus comes out, followed by Big Show, and then we're just going off on a tangent here. The promo that had a nice, good, serious direction just turned into a train wreck of just like Big Show said when he came out, blah 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 blah. That's all the fucking shit turned into, just nonsense. Just a lot of, you know, nothing really, no like consistency or anything in this little segment. It ends with Sheamus pushing Ziggler off the ladder. He gets crotched on the top rope. You know, nothing too big there. You know, an okay little bump to start things off. But, you know, not a great way to keep people's interest and have them stay with the show for 3 hours. Then we get Vince McMahon coming out. And I just knew that this wasn't going to be anything special, because he was just there. And, you know, last time he was there last week, it wasn't anything too great. So he comes out and they do the same thing. It's him and Vickie Guerrero. Vickie, what kind of match you gonna make tonight? You know, it was the same thing, and she was going, you know, and then they made the matches for the night, and it was just a waste. I'm hating this babyface Vince McMahon. I think back to Attitude Era Vince McMahon. I'm even thinking about, you know, 2006 Vince McMahon, the Vince McMahon that mocked God himself. I mean, even that shit was way better than this Vince McMahon. You know, if they had any fucking brains, they would do this. The fans would stop fucking, you know, taking this PG bullshit. Stop cheering for McMahon. Fucking boo him. Vince McMahon would have no choice. You know, how great of a storyline would it be if Vince McMahon came out there and he made fun of the fans and said, I'm going to give you PG bullshit forever. And then, you know, the fans rallied against it. And maybe there was, like, one great wrestler. Maybe it was, I don't know who it could possibly be. If maybe Stone Cold were to come back, he doesn't have to wrestle, but, you know, he could rally the other wrestlers behind him to make a more hardcore adult product. I mean, just think of the possibilities. Just, it doesn't have to be exactly like that, but they could do something with McMahon. Make Vince McMahon's, you know, presence worthwhile. It could really turn into something big. You know, they could have their first interesting storyline in a fucking decade. If they just follow those guidelines, you know, do something, play off the PG bullshit. But they don't want to do that because they just want to stay on that one PG bullshit track. You know, it's a fucking PG train, and it's just gonna keep on going till it falls off a fucking cliff. So then we get Truth and Wade Barrett, and they just bury Barrett here. This guy loses in fucking 2 minutes, and he's got a title match. So I don't understand this. So they completely bury the challenger for the fucking Intercontinental title, and they elevate, you know, the challenger for the U.S. title. Like, why do that? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Why make one guy who's going into a title match look weak and another guy who's going into another title match look strong? Now, you know, because, I mean, you know, Truth comes out of this looking pretty strong, and then Barrett comes out of this looking very weak. So you hurt one person to elevate another. They couldn't have had like an okay match. They couldn't have let them go a little bit, you know, to kind of set the tone for the pay-per-view. You know, this is just fucking... And then for some reason, Kofi then just jumps on Barrett at the end. I don't know, you know, he's a babyface, but he attacks him unprovoked. I don't understand this. Then we get Damien Sandow, and apparently WWE has hired Joey Ryan. I think it was Joey Ryan. He had a mustache. And, I don't know who that was, you know, but this is a fatal 4-way tag elimination for the #1 contendership. Or they will go on to face the #1 contenders, who are somehow Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara don't have to fight for this. They're already gonna be at the pay-per-view. They're already booked. Like, I don't understand. Like, why not just make this a normal #1 contenders match or something like that? Like, I don't know how they advance. Whatever. I'm not gonna stress myself out thinking about it. How they are already advanced at the pay-per-view. Nothing else makes sense. So Sandow and apparently the announcers inform me that this is not Joey Ryan, that this is indeed Cody Rhodes. And, you know, this guy was kind of seriously injured, but they force him back into the ring. You know, that's just the way WWE is. You know, Vince is like, get back in that ring whether you're injured or not. You're fine. You know, that's just how it is. So, you know, they make the Usos look strong in this. They eliminate the 2 other teams, and, you know, basically Sandow and Joey Ryan, Cody Rhodes. Cody Ryan wins. You know, I don't fucking know why. They've already faced Team Hell No 1,000 fucking times, but I guess maybe they're gonna lose at the pay-per-view. I just want this team to fucking end. Why can't Cody Rhodes be on his own already? You know, and I really liked that the crowd chanted Cody's mustache, because he looks like a damn fucking fool with that mustache. It does not look good on him. I mean, it's fucking Cody Ryan. Cody motherfucking Ryan. He's here. I mean, you know, he's stuck in a rut. This tag team, the Intercontinental Belt, he keeps going back and forth. You know, I think that actually, how about using that mustache? You know, I've got 1,000 fucking ideas in my twisted brain. How about making him into a porno star? Val Venus, you know, gimmick hasn't been done for years. Maybe Vince McMahon's still got the towel laying around backstage. Maybe he could put the towel on, maybe do a porno gimmick. You know, they could do some type of material like that. Like, why does it all have to be PG? They can make it half PG, maybe make the first hour PG, and the other 2 hours TV 14. Kids are not even supposed to be up late anyway, you know, past those late hours. But so there you go. You got this, and the match sucked. It wasn't anything good at all. Like I said, actually the biggest star in here, in my opinion, is Titus O'Neil. The guy's got great mic skills. He proved it on commentary. People on the internet are going crazy for Titus O'Neil's mic skills. They're saying that it's probably the best mic work they heard, the most original mic work that they've heard in years from anybody. He's a big, strong guy, exactly what Vince McMahon's looking for, but he won't fucking push him. I don't understand this. It's like, you've got a big potential star here, but you don't want to do anything with them. Instead, you know, they're eliminated during the commercial break. Are you fucking serious? Then you got Eve defeating Alicia Fox, and you know, the Divas division could be something. This was actually a pretty, you know, good match for 2 minutes. It was, you know, it was okay for 2 minutes. Alicia Fox has got talent. The split on the ropes, the Northern Lights suplex looked good. She did a tilt the world backbreaker. All the moves look good. Actually, she did the moves better than a lot of the males on the roster. I was kind of surprised. But the thing is, it's like they only get fucking 2 minutes. It's always been a joke, this division. I mean, the thing is, it's like, you know, they could have had a good match if they gave him at least 5 more minutes. Because it was going good. I was like, actually, I want to see more. When she did the split on the ropes and she went for the sunset flip, I mean, I was like, okay, you know what? This actually looks like it could be, oh, it's over. You know, there you go. It's over already. And then she calls the photographer into the ring, does Eve, and she's laying, you know, like over her opponent, like doing these poses. And I was like, that's fucking Melina. She's stealing Melina's gimmick. I thought they were done with Melina, but apparently they're so desperate they're going back and they're stealing Melina's mannerisms and character and gimmick. It's like they're reaching into a dumpster and pulling out whatever shit comes out. You know what I mean? It's like reaching into a toilet full of turds and pulling out the best turd. All those turds suck. They're all dirty and disgusting. Why would you put your hand in a fucking toilet full of turds? I don't understand it. Vince likes playing with turds, I guess. I don't know. Then we get Punk. CM Punk is back on crutches with Paul Heyman. Good promo from both guys. I actually enjoyed this. There was some solid mic work, guys. This was solid. Like James Caldwell would say on PW The Torch. This was a solid promo. Yeah, it was. I mean, Paul Heyman is always entertaining on the mic. But, you know, it was like promo could have been more exciting. You know, this is the champion is injured and all that. They made a couple of cracks about The Rock. So, you know, once they got away from, like, the Ryback and start talking about The Rock, I started to get a little bit excited because I can't fucking wait for TLC to be over so we could start talking about The Rock. I think The Rock... I mean, I don't understand this. Instead of, you know, them promoting The Rock for the night after TLC, they're promoting the fucking Slammies. Unless The Rock is going to make a surprise appearance at the Slammies, this is going to fucking suck. I mean, I seriously hope that The Rock doesn't just appear at the Royal Rumble. I don't care how much you have to fucking pay him. Get him on Raw already. This shit's boring. We need an A-lister already to come in and cut a fucking good promo. We need to have an epic segment with Punk and Rock. Give us something to fucking talk about already. Holy shit. This show is boring. I mean, but it was an okay promo here. You know, I liked it. Then we get Sheamus and Ziggler for the fucking 15th time. And it's only been a year. It was okay. You know, the Famous are off the ring steps. We've already seen it, though. I mean, it was okay, you know, back and forth. But, you know, the match is not good. I mean, why the fuck do they keep doing the same matches over and over? And then come back a couple of days later and say, gee, I wonder why the ratings are so low. And like I said, the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, they released a statement where he says, I hope that we're not repeating content on all our shows. You fucking think you're repeating content? You've only given us the same matches for a whole fucking 5 months in a row. We've been getting the same repeats over and fucking over and fucking over. It's enough already. I can only take the same match like so many fucking times before I go fucking insane. I mean, Jesus Christ, I've never been more motivated to buy a gun and just shoot myself in the fucking head. It's just too bad that in New York City, you have to wait almost a month to get a fucking gun. And by that time, I've already cooled down. I guess that's why they have that period, so you get cooled down. I don't want to shoot myself anymore. And then I come back next week and I'm like, oh, I hope the show's going to be better. I mean, I am fucking insane because I keep repeating the same mistake. Remember, that's what Sigmund Freud said. You're fucking crazy if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. I actually think it's going to be better every week. I'm a fucking sick motherfucker. I think it's going to get better, but it never does. But it was an okay match. You know, it ends with Ziggler hitting him with a chair. It's a DQ. Sheamus wins. Then he goes to hit Sheamus with the chair. And Sheamus hits the bro kick. And he kicks the chair out of his hand. You know, back during the Attitude Era or just any time before the PG era, that fucking chair would have went right in Ziggler's fucking face. And it would have been fucking awesome. But instead, it gets kicked out of his hand. Whee! I mean, what? That's fucking lame. He gets scared. Whoa! I'm so scared. The chair fell out of my hand. Oh! I mean, he gets scared. Instead of being in pain, he's scared. Then we get some segment that's totally lifted from the Attitude Era. Kylie, Vickie Guerrero, and Hornswoggle all get into this sexual doggy style position. They're trying to play off of the fucking Triple H Trish Stratus thing where Stephanie walked in on them. Vince McMahon walks in on them this time. You know, I didn't laugh. I didn't like it. I just looked. I was like, oh look, they're trying to do a PG version of a classic Attitude Era skit. Isn't that funny? Funny stuff. Then we get Del Rio defeating Zack Ryder. I mean, could Zack Ryder win a match already? Whether you like the guy or not, you gotta feel fucking sorry for him. Why does WWE even bother making t-shirts, making him do his web show, if they're just gonna keep jobbing him out? I said it like months ago. Turn this motherfucker heel. Do something with him. Are you just gonna keep putting him out there in these extended squash matches where he makes a little comeback? Every single week it's the same fucking thing. The heel beats him up, throws him in the corner. He gives the double big boots, goes up for the missile drop kick, hits that. Then he elbows him in the corner. Broski boot. Looks like he's going to hit the Rough Rider, but then someone reverses the move and hits their finisher. Same fucking match every goddamn week with Zack Ryder. It's the same thing. They're still, I was wrong. This week they had a little bit of a better crowd. They are still chanting, you know, let's go Ryder and all that shit. So people still are gunning for Ryder. I mean, they still like him. But Vince McMahon, once again, is not interested in Zack Ryder. I mean, he wants to make him into the next Barry Horowitz or Brooklyn Brawler. I mean, seriously, why is this guy where they make so much merch for him? Why are they making him into a jobber? I mean, if they had the confidence in him to make all this merch and they know he's a moneymaker, why not let him win matches? Why not put the U.S. or Intercontinental title on him at least? I see, this is the fucking mentality they have. Nothing fucking makes sense with them. Then we get Vickie Guerrero defeating AJ. And this match, let me tell you, this just is the perfect personification of what is fucking wrong with Raw. So this is one of the matches that Vince McMahon, you know, kind of made for Vickie Guerrero during that horrible babyface Vince McMahon segment. So this is how it basically goes. AJ comes out, Vickie Guerrero comes out, Brad Maddox is the referee. AJ simply slaps Vickie in the face and gets a visible pinfall on her. I don't know how a slap in the face could be that powerful, especially because Vickie weighs more than AJ. AJ looks like an anorexic little girl. I mean, this is like seriously wrong. You got like a woman in her mid-40s versus someone who looks like they're 12. And so basically, he doesn't count the pinfall. Maddox doesn't count it. Then Vickie Guerrero gets a weak-ass looking like schoolboy roll-up on her. And then she somehow is pinned. So somehow, last week, AJ manages to do the same move and pin Tamina Snuka, this fucking huge-ass woman. The biggest diva they got on the roster. You know, this big, muscular Amazonian girl. And this week she loses to Vickie Guerrero by the same move. How does this make sense? And then Michael Cole is doing the PG version of JR freaking out when someone gets screwed. He was like, that idiot! Instead of saying, God damn it! You know, or something like that, you know. Doing the PG thing. Like, you would have thought it was the Montreal Screwjob. I mean, Michael Cole was flipping his shit. You know, Michael Cole's now back to being babyface Michael Cole ever since the whole Lawler incident. And, you know, I'm not liking it at all. I like him better as a heel. But he's just going on and on about how horrible this is. It's not that horrible. It's not a big match. There's no title on the line. These aren't really big, stars, big wrestling stars. This is not like Cena or Punk getting screwed. Where I could see Michael Cole getting a little bit excited to try to like get the fans' interest, like, devoted to the match. But it's just a fucking, basically a comedy match when you really think about it. Vickie Guerrero wrestling is not a serious thing. It's supposed to be comedic because, look, it's Vickie, and, we're supposed to think she's really fat and all that, even though she's not really that fat. So there you go. It's not that serious, and it was just a way, I guess, to get Maddox on TV. So after he's a wrestler, now he's back to being a ref. Is there any progress in this show at all? Like, don't you see what I mean? That this Raw didn't need to exist. It was just a fucking repeat of previous Raws. With, just like some newer ideas thrown in. Then we get Cesaro defeating Kofi Kingston clean for some reason. One champion goes over another champion. Again, making another wrestler who has a match at the pay-per-view look weak in favor of another. Doesn't make sense. And this was a boring fucking match. And it was botch-filled up the ass. There was a lot of botches in this match. And that, like, the most noticeable botch is that Kofi Kingston goes up for the big, whatever that fuck that thing is supposed to be, a chop off the top, the karate chop, the, whatever the fuck it is, the chino chop, comes off the top, like, maybe part of his elbow hits Cesaro, and they replay it like it was some type of awesome move. It was so botched. Why would you replay that move? You would hope that people turned away to eat some pork rinds or something and miss that shit. It looked horrible. And then there's just a bunch of rest holds on the ground, and holy fucking shit, it was boring. I didn't like it at all. Shit was just, it was just mind-blowingly, like, just dull. And not only that, the match was 15 fucking minutes! If you had nothing planned for this match of any interest, don't bore us with a bunch of fucking rest holds. If you're gonna do that, just make it a 3-minute match. Just make it about the length of the Wade Barrett match. No one wants to sit through a long rest hold filled match unless you're fucking insane or you're a fucking retard or some shit. God damn, it was boring. Then we get The Miz, and he interviews the Rhodes Scholars, more making fun of his mustache and all that, which is fine because he does look goofy. But I don't know. It seemed like Damien Sandow was just kind of, he wasn't even trying to ad-lib it all. He was just basically going through his same lines. It wasn't a good segment at all. I've never seen a decent edition of Miz TV. This is a horrible fucking segment. And babyface Miz, it's not working. The Miz, he just looks like a heel. I'm sorry, when I look at The Miz, I can't accept him as a babyface. He's trying to be like cool and play the audience and tell and make all these like insults that the audience wants to hear, like like, ah, your mustache. But it's not working. They already had the Cody mustache chant. That was enough. Unless they could have thought about some other type of thing. I mean, what it would have been funny if this was TV 14 and he said maybe Damien Sandow gave him a dirty Sanchez or some shit like that would have been hilarious. But they're not gonna fucking do that in this day and age. So that would have been funny, but they're not gonna do that, and because of that, it was a boring ass segment. Then we get our main event, or second main event of the night, and it's Cena and the Big Show, and they fight to a no contest. They had this match like a couple of months ago. I forget when it was. I think it was maybe before Cena fought Punk at Night of Champions, or maybe it was to build up towards SummerSlam. I don't know what it was. But they had the long spot in a repeat here. The chin lock. And once again, the announcers call the move wrong. It's a chin lock. It's not a sleeper hold, as they say. But he has him in this move for like 5 minutes. He's riding on his back. Finally, after 4 minutes, he drops to his knee. And then Big Show breaks out of it. It just was just so fucking boring. And to really put it into perspective, if you didn't watch this episode of Raw, how boring it was. So, you know, they're fighting on the outside. And he knocks Cena against the barricade. And then he just stands here and he looks at the ref. He watches him as he's counting him down. Like, holy fucking shit. The Big Show is slow enough. Now he's just staring at the referee, counting him out. No one is going to watch this show when you put on such boring, slow-paced matches. It's boring. It's not entertaining in the least bit. I'm just staring at the TV saying, holy fucking shit. When is this crap going to be over? Can't stand it. It's so boring. And then it just ends with a run-in from the Shield. There's no powerbomb this time. Thank fucking God. We didn't get a triple powerbomb. It's Team Hell No come in. And, you know, and then Ryback comes in. And it's a sloppy brawl. They're botching everything. You've got Roman Reigns and Ryback just struggling. They're trying to hold each other. And, you know, they're flailing all over the place. So disorganized. Then there's a table set up in the corner. And Cena just pushes the Big Show through it. And there was like no fucking impact on that shit at all. What a fucking clusterfuck that was to end the show. I was fucking laughing. That was by far funnier than any comedy skit they did on here. What a fucking just clusterfuck that was. And the other funny thing about this is Daniel Bryan and Kane are in the main event. So are the Shield. So is Ryback. And none of them are anywhere to be found on this show until the last minute of this fucking 3-hour program. So this is, you know, the big match. That in the Cena ladder match. They are banking on those matches to get them buy rates. And they don't even show you the talent involved. The best fucking wrestler in that match, Daniel fucking Bryan, is not shown until the last minute. And they're you know, the guys that they spent so much time on trying to get you interested with the Shield, they don't show up until the last 2 minutes. It's pathetic. Did they even know what they're doing? Did they even know how to sell a pay-per-view? No one's gonna buy this shit. First of all, you know, this match is just it's a 3 guys that most of the audience has never heard of. Only the YWC and hardcore internet fans know who these guys are. Everybody else has no reason to be interested in these guys. They just look like a bunch of mall cops dressed up as the Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan. That's it. That's all you're gonna get from this, unless you're like hardcore wrestling fan from the internet. That's it. Other than that, you're just seeing 3 guys all dressed the same, who haven't done anything impressive except do the same fucking move for 3 weeks in a row. So there you go. There's your pay-per-view, and holy shit, is it gonna ever fucking suck. This episode of Raw was not only boring, but as I said, just imagine that this episode of Raw didn't take place. It was canceled, and they were doing the Westminster Dog Show instead. Would you even notice going into TLC that there was another Raw? There was no big developments. Nothing fucking happened. There were no major returns or surprises or noteworthy matches. It was just all fucking garbage. It was a complete waste of time. A piece of shit. And it was a pretty bad show.